we can bounce the hook. Right, that's going to be big brained. Oof. Like, what do you do against us, right? GG's. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day. What does it take to free-to-play farm a new set? The Streets of New Capenna, coming out later this month, I believe on the 24th. Holy Toledos, that's right around the corner. But if you are an individual, like many are, without the ability and the tax write-off to sink a bunch of money into the cards, how can you still collect the mass majority of them and play all of the cool decks that we produce on the channel day to day? Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is get a deck that we think is competitive. Of course, all of this outlined in the farming video. If you haven't seen it, my most successful video, right? We can pin that down in the description if you want. But identify what deck you're comfortable with playing. Test it in the play queue with a deck tracker going. This will help you track your win rate with the build that you've chosen. If you have a successful win rate, which again, check out the farming video as we discuss the specific win rates that you will need and how profitable each of those will be. Identify where you are at within that structure and then hit up the standard events. We've had the economy rework recently. I believe the constructed events will be receiving an increased prize structure, which is really, really nice. The limited events obviously are definitely the way to go for the free-to-play individual. More on this within the farming guide. But with the new structure through the rewards that I'm not entirely sure is out yet or not, the new packs are out, so maybe fingers crossed the constructed event has been updated as well. We're gonna have to find out for ourselves in a little bit, but again, identify that deck, get a good win rate with it, make sure you're aware of what it is, because you don't want to be spending your gold and not coming out ahead of the game, right? So that's kind of what we're doing today, is those first steps. We are identifying what deck we want to play. We're testing it out in a play queue, looking for an average win rate over 10 plus games. And then, if it's good, we're going to take it into the constructed event when it's updated for the new prize structure and farm some gold for the new set and maybe try to do it free to play, but at the very least demonstrate how it should be done for all of y'all. All right, so quite the video, and we're playing a Dimir deck today, right? Testing it out in the play queue, identifying that win rate, and things are groovy. Oh my gosh. You've heard of the cheat hook, but what other cards can you slam into a deck to just completely cheat the game? And this is great if you are farming gold or pushing rank, because well, they're just hard to beat, right? And that's definitely advantage in your favor. So let's take a look at this newest Dimir deck, which I've chosen to farm some gold in the standard constructed event. Heyo! This is a cheat hook deluxe. There's a lot to get through here. I know a lot of rambling to start the video, but this is going to be some unique content, so I did want to explain it probably far more in depth than I should have. However, this is a Dimir control deck, 60 card standard best of 1 with a 3.2 average mana value. There are 5 creatures to our 31 non-creatures. I wanted to say 13. LOL. 24 lands. Beautiful. That's fine. Very, very average. So the things that have changed about this deck's popularity that has led to the downfall of it is divide by 0. Totally banned from standard. But is the deck still good? That's kind of what today's video is all about, discovering that win rate. Of course, we're using Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant to track that. There's many other deck tools that you can use. But first and foremost, new cards in the deck to take its place that I think actually do a great job. Probably my favorite card that is new, at least within the deck, March of Wretched Sorrow. For 1 mana plus X, instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of black cards from your hand. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Then you can do X damage to any target creature or planeswalker and gain X life. So, not only is this removal, but it's also a way to mitigate your opponent's damage on your life total, which is very, 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 very good, because you're spreading the gap and you're slowing them down, which is fantastic, right? So this is one of the best cards in the deck. We're using the Hullbreaker Horror. We're breaking the game. It's a cheat deck. It's as easy as that. And March of the Wretched Sorrow can be cast for 1, X equals 0, just to trigger the Hullbreaker Horror. And if you're unfamiliar, for 7 mana as a 7/8 with flash, can't be countered. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand. So this is something on the stack, or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. This is something in the battlefield that is non-land. So a lot of value here through the Hullbreaker Horror, and unbelievably easy to trigger through something that has inherently high value like March of the Wretched Sorrow. BEA Beautiful. It's basically as good as Fading Hope, but almost better because of the life gain and hard removal, so it's not being recast the next turn. Of course, we do have Fading Hope as well, though. It's good enough. Instant speed for 1, return target creature to its owner's hand. If its mana value was 3 or less, scry 1. And that scry 1 is fairly helpful to make sure that we're getting the land we want. 2 islands is really all we need, and then looking to get to 4, 3 for sure, black or swamps. We can go to 3 and use the Celestis for 4, enable to cast Invoke Despair, another fantastic new card in the build. For 5 mana, sorcery speed, target opponent sacrifices a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 life. You draw a card, repeat this process for an enchantment and a planeswalker. So if they have an empty field, it's 6 damage, draw 3. Wow, that is ridiculous. And the fact that we can recast everything in our deck from the grave through Lyre, Disciple of the Drowned for 5, a 3/4. Again, spells can't be countered once she's in play, so she can still be countered. However, once she's in play, nothing can be countered. Sorry about this. Each instant and sorcery card in the graveyard will have flashback for us, which is fantastic. That's the recasting of the instances and sorceries that we talked about. And the mana will be equal to its original mana cost to do so, which is so good. Again, through the low-cost cards like March and Fading Hope, triggering the Hullbreaker, and now having double value through the Disciple. I don't know how you compete against this. I really don't. Moving on, it's not just the Celestis that we're utilizing through the mana fixing, or not just the mana fixing that we're utilizing the Celestis for, always in reverse with me. We can add the mana, talking about that, that's fine. The day and night cycle is really nice here. Whenever it switches, you draw a card, discard a card, gain 1 life. You can pay 3, tap it to force the cycle yourself. Not casting switches it to night. Double casting, once it's night, we'll switch it to day. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But this will also synergize alongside the Meat Hook Massacre. Again, not only for the mana fixing for the double black, the gaining life, working together here, opponent losing life, not really an ordeal, but having them both in play. And then the soul transfer, right? Choose one. If you control an artifact, the Celestis, and an enchantment, the Meat Hook, you get to choose both. Exile target creature or planeswalker, return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. So, you know, we do have a couple creatures and planeswalkers we'd like to return if they do end up in the grave. The Disciple, Hullbreaker, and Professor Onyx. Not having talked about Professor Onyx here yet, as a 6 mana planeswalker, 5 loyalty, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy instants or sorceries, gain 2 life, and an opponent will lose 2 life. +1, you lose 1 life, and look at the top 3, put 1 into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Great. With our Disciple of the Drowned, also the Celestis is good with the discard in a similar fashion with the Disciple while we're on that synergy. -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that they control. It enters play, it removes, hopefully it survives, and then you can keep going on from there. -8, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life, and repeat this process 6 more times, which is lethal unless they have a fat hand, but I doubt it if you're already that far along into the game. We have Duress as a nice cheap sorcery, basically just checking their hand for Test of Talents, right? It's as simple as that. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, that player discards that card. You can grab other things, but primarily looking for either a counter spell that could hit our Disciple as she drops, or a Test of Talents, which before she drops could eliminate a lot of our goodies. Really taking whatever's in their hand, but Test of Talents hitting our hope, hitting our march before we have the disciple in play, and then not being able to utilize those in the future with the Hullbreaker it's heartbreaking. So, you know, that's kind of my favorite thing to take. However, it's not a big ordeal. We're just using Walrus Disruption as our only counter because we have the Disciple to stop the ability to counter anything. You know, this is their early game. If not, it's a land, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Remember, you can always bounce your Disciple to counter something to replay your Disciple, but it's unlikely as we're only using the Disruption. Memory Deluge times 3 for 4, Flashback for 7, instant speed, looking at the top X cards of our library, where X is the amount of mana to cast this spell. Difference between the hard cast and the Flashback, I suppose. And then putting 2 cards into our hand, the rest in the bottom of our library in a random order. You know, it's going to help us find whatever we need, whether it be a Field Wipe, Meat Hook Massacre, Shadow's Verdict, which is, I guess, the next card we should talk about, or even, you know, just some single target if that's the case. But typically, Memory's Deluge is like, oh shoot, where's my Field Wipe? Where's my Field Wipe? If not, you know, maybe you're just looking for a finisher if you've already stabilized. Shadow's Verdict, such a good card in the meta right now. I understand that it is a nombo with the Meat Hook and also Soul Transfer, a nombo, but the Exile is fine. Don't worry about it. The Meat Hook is just a little extra. We don't have to solely focus on it like the Aristocrats decks love to do. Exiling all creatures and planeswalkers for 5 mana at sorcery speed from the battlefield and the graveyard, which is so good. So Kato, get out of town. Bye-bye. All the tokens relying on the damage of their deaths through the Meat Hook to kill you. Bye-bye, right? So it's nice to have control. I can take the Meat Hook, kill your creatures, get some life gain and drain going, or I can nullify your Meat Hook with the Shadow's Verdict, which is super exciting. We already talked about the Invoke Despair, I believe, which is fantastic. Professor Onyx, yes. Hullbreaker Horror, yes. Field of Ruin to control our opponent's creature-based lands, and then we have our own with Hive, with the Hull, and then Soaring City and the Abandoned Mire here as the channel lands. So quite a nice mana base utility-wise. It's all there. Things you could play would be the Hagra's Mauling as an option, but we just did not get there and didn't really have a need for it because we're so heavily weighted with the Meat Hook, with Shadow's Verdict, and then, you know, we have Invoke for the single target creature that survive. We have Soul Transfer. We have Professor Onyx. We can bounce it with the Hullbreaker. We have Wretched Sorrow. We can bounce it with the Fading Hope. So just not necessarily needing it, in my opinion, but it could be something that we adjust and add in the future. With this all out of the way, we're going to play the deck today in the play queue, look for our win rates, try to get about 10 plus matches in, and then at the end of the video, we'll talk about the deck really quick, if there's any changes that we want to make. Again, going through the data that we've accumulated through the video and seeing if this is a good enough deck to farm the standard constructed event. We'll also investigate that event and see if it's been updated through the prize structure yet. If you've not seen the farming video, I'll have it pinned in the description below. I'm sure everyone has, though. It's literally my most popular video with over 100,000 plus views. Whoa! That is, I wish every video could do that, right? That's incredible. So, cheers, enjoy today's gameplay, and let's see how this deck does. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and become a YouTube member. We're playing the new Kirby this week, exclusively available to the YouTube member supporters. Enjoy. On the draw, removals there, no Field Wipe. The land is most importantly there, so we keep it. Cleric class, turn 1, not a creature. 5 activates both marches. The first can hit for 2. Oh, another Cleric's class. And if we focus on exile, that Cleric class, for the most part, is dead. Right? It's not going to bring any cards back from the grave because we are exiled. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So let's just eat it. Eat it real good. Wonder what they take. It could be the Hullbreaker. It could be Professor. It might be that other March. It's really up in the air. And I said we weren't going to destroy things, but we already went right at it with the destroy through the March. Because they could take our soul transfer and then we're not destroying shit. But we chill. They take the Hull Breaker, which is, you know, we don't really care about that actually. It's a dead turn. Thank you. We miss our land drop. Ouch. Not good. Did they just bring back the Spellbinder? Oh, if I were them, I would. Interesting. They must have protection. This is an exile, which is fantastic. It goes through. Bringing the binder back into play, which is good. Losing the professor here. If they're scared of big cards, that would make sense. They might take the soul transfer again because the exile kind of messes up their other clerics class. Yeah. It's a really good call. Snaggle Daggle. The life gain is great. You know, if they want to continue to bring it back and tax me, that's fine. Lots of counters on their cards. Usher, whatever. Doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna just hard look for a land. Playing the swamp this turn untapped. And then I guess next turn we want another swamp building towards Invoke Despair. Let's look at their hand. Maul of the Skyclaves, get out of here. That's a good pick. That's a really nice snag. We do not mind. Right, here comes our beloved binder. I'm going to take Shadow's Verdict this time. Counters go out. We get hit for 4 down to 20. 100% they take Shadow's Verdict. Without a doubt. Ouchies. Okay, so let's play slow. And just snag the Usher. Yep. The life of a Dimir player. People do not like you. Like, yeah, you want to sit here? We're gonna sit here. Oh, it's me. What the heck? I gotta restart my client quickly. Oh. It's me. Let's see if we can get back in here. My bad. My bad. Timeout used. Oh no. Where did my spell go? Or maybe their Usher's not really here. It just shows it on my screen. It untapped. If they attack me with this Usher, I'm gonna freak out. Oh, I'm gonna freak out. What the heck, man? Come on, Arena. That shit ain't funny, yo. Oof. Right? Oofs in chat, everyone. Oofs. That's how it feels. I'm going to mitigate those 4 damage. I don't want to take it. Really? It was just a fading hope. You got it back. All right. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
If I won't be given a second chance.
As long as they don't gain life, get +1 counters on the 1/1 through the Cleric class, which I assume they will. 2 cards in hand that we don't know about. That's not it. That's not it. Easy. I wonder what's on the professor's mind today. Oh gosh, these are all just such good cards, aren't they? Let's grab the draw. Verdict. 2 for 1, clean the field. Get rid of the grave. Land. Brutal Cathar, nothing to take. Skyclave out as well. Nothing to take. Invoke Despair. Draw 3. Actually, no, it'd be draw 2, but... Opponent goes first. We have the Celestis, which is fantastic. Very, very good. And is it deck? We don't really like that. It's a mill deck. Our mana curve's pretty high, though. We can return Planeswalker back with the Mire, potentially. There's multiples if they're going to counter it. They don't. Which means Invoke Despair is ready to rip. Definitely take action. How do you not? Is it a mill deck or no? Let's find out. Goes through. Ay, caramba. Toss the Celestis, oddly enough. This is a lot of land. I'm happy to have moved those out of the way. Hey, maybe we should have kept it. We could have held up removal for this. Let's try and grab the dragon, pull a spell, and then instant speed it. We have no black spells to discard. Should have done it the other way. And it's just a fading hope. We'd have to discard our March. 1, 2, 3, 4. To take it. And I do want to take it. Question is, do we get it? Being so greedy. Give me that dragon, yo. They do have plenty of treasures now, which is not great. We can get rid of some of these lands, though. Nothing great to bring back yet. 3 cards plus something in the Foretell zone, which I was thinking would be a counter spell or like dual strike. Hit for 7 here. We have Field of Runes, so it's 1 and done. Good hit though. I don't know if that's a great way to spend their turn because we're gaining life on the front end, we're gaining life on the back end. Still tossing lands. Let's check out this little handy doos. Uh-oh. That is a fantastic card I've not had a chance to build around. Exile pop X cards of your library for each land. Exile this way. Create a treasure. For each blue card, exile this way. Draw a card. And for each red card, exile this way. Deal 1 damage to each opponent. And then you have multicolor cards, and they all fire. And that's just so much fun. Let's end turn here. So I'm not worried about their hand. The Rebuke is fairly dead against us. We can snag the Hall. Our hand's dead too, though, right? But if they're not casting, we get the Celestis, and believe it or not, that really does help things along. Doesn't matter, we can take a blue source. It could be worse. Hall's a good land to have. It is nighttime though, so we'll need a double cast on someone's turn. But I don't know if they're going to be doing anything. Yep, I'll allow it. That should be a win. We have Fading Hope to protect it as well. Can't be countered. Good game. It's just one of those cards. Ooh. Ay caramba. Alright, here's a mulligan. Let's keep this. Toss Duress. And La Vida Loca all the way to the Celestis. We can probably turn 2 Duress. Maybe we can get a scoop with a turn 1 Duress, though. Let's see. Remember that time we threw our second Duress? Idiot! Man, I would have loved that. Very cool to have kept. Shadow's Verdict's really good. We need to deal with that Wanderer, though. March is good. The Soul Transfer is good. No land is bad. Oh no. Oh no. Get out of here. We'll bounce the token. That's not a land. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. We still have Fading Hope. Shadow's Verdict if we draw land. So be cautious about what we bounce. Do they dump into it? What if we don't draw land? We do, it's just slow. So it's worth keeping still, I think. And then they'll repeat it next turn. So we get hit for 4 this turn, and then next turn we'll get hit for 6. Total of 10, down to 10. Still needing to find a way to deal with the Wandering Emperor. We do gain life here. Drawing and discarding. Honestly, I'm gonna keep double verdict. Please and thank you. Planes out. Here's the repeat of last turn. Hit for 6. Ooh, hit for 7. We are down to 10. Reduced to memory. I don't think that's a good pull, but they're going to try to take the Celestis away. Makes sense, but actually hit for 8 because now the training goes out down to 9. Ooh. Ooh. Definitely gain that life. Draw. Discard. Draw again. Oh my gosh. Woof. 1 Shadow's Verdict coming right up. Three cards left in their hand. But that's all we have, really, is that. If they don't cast, we go to Night, draw and discard. Would be fantastic. They try to hold up the Emperor. But I'm pretty sure they take the Celestis. Give us the 3/2. No, they do not, but they cast, so we remain within daytime. Kind of a weird mechanic if it's out of place. It's nice because everybody knows it right now because it's standard, but the time will come when it's just like, what? I honestly don't mind playing the next land. I think that's okay. Skyclave on the Celestis, decent. And that's kind of why we play the land. There's a good chance they take that. They learn here as well. Oof. I can't help it. They're just very Shadow's Verdict-y time. That's 4 of them in a row. Wow. Kind of crazy. Their best chance is just to hold up the Emperor, I guess. I don't know. 6 mana. That's all they really have for themselves. Pass turn. Straight chillin'. They make the token, which doesn't really matter.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people. Guards, to me!
We can block. Oh. It's nighttime, though. They cast again to move it back to day, though. They need the double cast. And that's actually acceptable, because we just still block this. Hopefully they make it... Well, whatever they do is fine. We don't mind.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Here's the block. Thank you. This is gonna like. There's, you know, they're thinking there's no way they have 4 Shadows Verdicts, right? Well, you know what? I don't know how to do it either, but it happened. That just happened. Let's hold on to the mire. Maybe we use it, right? They keep laying in more heaters, which is fantastic. Very good. I need a 5th Shadows Verdict. Watch us top deck a Meat Hook. Almost. Almost. We're low on life, so I'm gonna take this for 6. Just grab all that we can, and that buys us a turn or 2.
Try not to miss me.
While we take some damage, look for our 5th Shadows Verdict. Very rock and roll. So we have Hall. We have now 19 life. March of the Wretched Sorrow. What a fantastic card. Like, this is a good card. Ooh, that's not great, though. Maybe we be the aggressor. You want to race? Let's race. Interesting. Another. Wow, good for them. Nice. I mean, we expect them to draw 2 more to make up for what we've done at the start of this match. Hopefully we don't just land out. Oh! This might not be great. We only ever want to keep 1 land in hand. They're gonna chump block with the bird. I assume. They should have been putting counters on the bird and chump blocked. Lastly, with the vigilance. America, frig yeah. Drawing meat hooks every freaking day, yeah. We've not played a land, which gives us 5. We can meat hook for 3. Why not keep them both? Ooh. No! 4 Shadows Verdicts into a Meat Hook. Oh my lord, have mercy. So this costs 2. So down to 7. Right? Gaining life. Gaining life. The name of the game. Sorry, Thalia. You had to go. Could you imagine if this was any target? Or even this in a historic deck with Veto? Oh, that would be good. Wow. Nice win. Going first? Oh, about time. Warrior's Disruption on the play? That's pretty BMs. I wouldn't mind just dropping it as such. Looking for more land. Perfect. That's even the right color. I love it. Is it a 2-drop? Yup. Just buys us time. I know we can deal with it all with a verdict. Oh, but now we have 2 of them. Things aren't so touch and go. That's great. Doesn't matter what they take. We could even just blast it for 2. They do take a verdict. Hopefully there's no more taxation. Thalias, Redanes, Spellbinders. There's an Usher. There's an Initiate. There's a Luminar. Can we have a land off the top, please? If not, we just take the Lumi. Like an award you win. Oh, did you see the Lumies? 5th land off the top must be black. Binder takes our another verdict. It might take Despair, though. Hard call. I would take verdict. I would definitely take Shadow's verdict. And they do, and then they hit us for 5. Ay caramba. Big hits. It does help, believe it or not. But, this is 9 damage coming our way. Oh, and another binder. That's their 3rd spellbinder. Holy. Can we have a meat hook off the top, I guess? I mean, even that's not enough, but it'll help. Game. Woof. That was a quick one, Mono White. Thank you. Going first. Pretty good hand other than Invoke. Just building into the Celestis is our most desirable of goals. Most desired of goals, I suppose. Yeah, I get that haul in, untapped. Not really doing anything. This is a channel for 4, which is very expensive. Dragon's Guard Elite is a go. We have Fading Hope deal. Let's pass turn. They could have protection though, of course, right? Get oozed. Ooze on the reef. I will take the scry for a black land. I'm going to be honest. That's not it. Neither is that. Main phase memory deluge. Really? Really? Wow. We had a land untapped already, my bad. I wouldn't have taken the disruption. I was going to play that tapped. I don't know what I'm thinking. Is this a mono blue deck? Like, what's happening? Let's bounce it. Hopefully there's no protection. I feel like there is. Mail safekeeping. Okay, they get a land. They get an additional counter. They hit for 4. Remember that time we didn't draw a single black source? There it is. We have 5, 6 available mana, which is Meat Hook for 4. Just on time. The cheat hook, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic card. Saving people from certain death. Literally since it came out. Ava is good. But you know what she's not good again? Oh, we don't have the land. The Invoke Despair is super dead here. Let's rip it to nighttime. Let me grab some life. Celestis goes. This brings us closer to the Invoke, which is 1, 2, 3 black sources. We still need a 4th. Taxidermist is a go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, and it's nighttime, so... Counters ahoy. Meat Hook not really doing what we want it to anymore. Neither's Invoke as they've flooded the field. Big hit. Yikes. They have double casted, so we go to night or day. Duress can go. Thing is, I can't flip it tonight. I have to play this now to keep it day. It's incredibly unpleasant to do as a flash creature, but it's our only hope. Okay. Not the end of the world. This is another target creature. Thankfully not herself. The Dragon's Guard Elite is like, where's the Magecraft, right? I threw the Duress because it was all creatures. I'm just curious. What's going on? I don't think they attack. Oh, they do because they have the Magecraft. No blocks. What spell do they have? We probably should have kept that Duress. Whoops. There it is. There it is. Cancel. That's as high as we can go as Meat Hook for 6. This is just straight up hexproof. No, we can do Meat Hook for 7 with the Celestis. And then we'll bounce the other Meat Hook back. Is that good? They have a spell in hand, which we should have dealt with. We are going to gain some life at least. Do they save Ava? Do they save the Dragon's Guard? They save the Dragon's Guard. Fantastic. For 6 mana, they could double the counters, which is what they should have done. We gain some life. No attacks. 14, 14. We have to block. I guess they gain a couple counters, hey? Nice. We have Invoked Despair to save us as long as they don't play another creature. Nice. Draw and discard. Toss the meat hook. Invoke out. They have to sacrifice it. Unless they have another flash creature or a way to bounce it to hand. Gain the life to 11. Get some tasty draws. Pass turn. Deluge is open as well on their end step. Taxidermist is... it's alright. Deluge out. Two of my favorite things. Wow, those are good cards. Oh no. Lord have mercy. Invoke Despair. What a busted card. This whole deck is really busted. That's why we're playing it. So we have 11, 12. Let's check for Snakeskin first. And then we're down to 10, 11. So this is for 10. That's a few life points gained. Toss the land. Everything is just how we would like it to be. Ava in the house again. Again, you won't leave me alone, will you, girl? I don't want to pass tonight. So we main phase the Hullbreaker, whatever. Luminarch's pretty good. Just take care of the Luminarch, or do we draw? Draw and bounce it. We can bounce the hook, right? That's going to be big brained. Oof. Like, what do you do against us, right? GG's. Good game. Right? Just get wrecked. All of the best cards in one deck. 76% win rate in the play queue. That's still pretty good. I think that that signifies to us that we can take this deck as is into the standard events and hopefully come out with not only some individual card rewards, but some gold. And word on the street is that these are all being reworked to provide more value for the event, which was super, super exciting because typically the limited events have way more value in them than the constructed events, and having that balance is going to be super exciting. So focusing a little bit more on the farming decks, and of course if you've seen my farming video, you'll know that our first step is to track our win rate with the deck in the play queue. If it's positive, now we can make that investment into the event, which is our next step. Cheers. Let's take a look at the deck before we sign off. Toledo's, the Cheat Hook Deluxe. More like the Cheat Deck Deluxe, because it's not just the hook, but it definitely is built around it with the power level that it embodies in mind, and then selecting other cards with a similar power level to hang out with. And, you know, it doesn't disappoint. Ideally, our plan is to take advantage of the standard constructed event, which I'll show you how to get to in a second. As people may not have a fully optimized deck yet, they're looking to farm. We're coming into the event with a tier 1 deck, and we should be able to clean house, I hope, with a similar win rate as to the play queue. And now this will be fun for us as we move into the next video when we do play that event, comparing our win rates through the event and through the play queue, so as to gain a deeper understanding as to how accurate the comparison of the two will be, because again, we want to identify without any risk if the deck is good enough in the play queue without wasting the gold, right? That risk. If it is, then we can go to the events. If now the data from the event matches the play queue, we are all set to deck test, find different decks to farm with, and this could be the beginning of a new journey for the channel, which is super exciting. So we went 10 wins, 3 losses, 76% win rate. That is not bad. 7 wins on the draw, 6 wins on the play, 6 times on the play with an 83%. 7 times on the draw with a 71% win rate. So a little bit reduced win rates when we are going second. That's to be expected. Facing off against all the decks. Mono white beat us up twice. Not too pleased about that. And that's, there's all the tax. It's a hard matchup. So we're going to have to look out and make sure that we don't run into too much mono white. That could be something of a concern. Maybe Shambling Gas will have to be added for that specific matchup, because I feel like it's very, very good. However, that's the data we got, and it's all about seeing what the meta is like comparison wise, what our win rate is like comparison wise. Of course, this is the deck absolutely beasting out. The average match time here is a little bit longer than a aggro deck. 11 minutes, 3 minutes, 12 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 13 minutes, 5, 9, maybe average of 10, 12 minutes. I don't know, maybe 9 or 10. I don't know. This 20-minute match is really an outlier. We could add those up, but I wish it did it automatically in another world. However, I do think that the deck fits the parameters. The win rate is good. Again, looking at the farming video, if you're interested in identifying all of that and how you'll compete to get to the event. It's play, events, all. You can even click constructed here if you wanted, and then standard event, easy peasy lemon squeezy. The rewards have not been updated yet, which is so sad. However, you can still make a good amount of gold, doubling your gold. 3 IRCs, 2 of them being rares, which are basically worth near 1,000 gold each anyways, and an uncommon. So if you need to still grow your collection, this is a fantastic way to do so. And word on the street is that it's going to get even better. So let's get a couple decks ready to rip for the events, and when they update the economy, let's hit it with all our might, because Lord knows we just need a few more gold for our collection. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a magical day. We'll see you soon in the next. And again, definitely check out the pinned video in the comments if you're looking to brush up on all things free-to-play farming. I guess, again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Oh, it's so cringe, but it's got to be there or you won't do it. Take care.